How do the traps of debt and taxes keep everyday people chained to poverty? The student loan trap and tax game. Debt is one of the sharpest tools the system uses to keep people trapped, and student loans are the perfect example. Governments publicly call student debt a crisis, but behind closed doors it's their #1 asset on the balance sheet. In other words, they profit from the very chains they pretend to lament. That's why Proverbs 22:7 rings so true today. The borrower is slave to the lender. When millions of young people start their adult lives buried in debt, they're not free citizens, they're controlled cash flows. Taxes add another layer to the game. Employees pay the highest rates, often over a third of their income, while investors legally pay less. Look again at Buffett versus Coca-Cola's CEO. One pays nearly double the tax rate on far less income, the other keeps more while making exponentially more. Why? Because dividends and investments are rewarded, while salaries are penalized. The government tells you to get a good job, but its own tax code whispers, own something instead. Even worse, most people never learn this. Schools don't teach it, universities don't emphasize it. You can get an MBA and still not understand how to legally lower your taxable income. That ignorance is expensive. James Quincy, Coca-Cola's CEO, works a lifetime to earn $8 million while Buffett collects $700 million and owes less tax. That's not luck, that's design. And anyone who studies tax strategy sees it clearly. The trap deepens when debt and taxes work together. A young graduate with $100,000 in loans goes straight into a job taxed at 35%. They're paying off debt with after-tax dollars, while the bank collects guaranteed interest. Meanwhile, wealthy investors borrow against their assets, pay no tax on the borrowed cash, and reinvest for more growth. Two people live in the same country, but they're playing on entirely different fields. What most don't realize is that these same rules can be used in their favor. A small business owner can deduct expenses that employees cannot. An investor can structure income through dividends or capital gains instead of salaries. Even on a modest scale, these shifts free up cash to build assets faster. Luke 16:8 reminds us, "For the people of this world are more shrewd in dealing with their own kind than are the people of the light." It's a wake-up call. Wisdom is required in managing money. And here's the irony. Banks, corporations, and governments won't stop you from learning these rules. They'll just never volunteer the information. They're counting on you to stay blind. The question is, once you see how the trap works, what will you do about the future, especially the future called retirement?